Good evening, and I welcome you, students. Very important discussion and question answer sessions are going on physical chemistry. The important questions are being discussed on physical chemistry. We are going to talk today about surface chemistry. Surface chemistry, student, is very important topic and very scoring. This is very scoring, and we can get full marks in this chapter, but there will be plenty of questions based on surface chemistry. Let us have a small revision of the surface chemistry, students. Surface chemistry means it is related with the surface phenomena, and the terms which we use is adsorption, students. First question, simple straight away. What is adsorption, student? What do you mean by adsorption? What happens, student? What is an adsorption? You know, certain gases, they get adsorbed over activated charcoal. You are aware of that, student? Charcoal is a very good adsorbent. Charcoal. Am I right? It absorbs, student, gases like oxygen, hydrogen, CO, NH3. So many gases what we are talking about. They can be absorbed by the charcoal, is a very good adsorbent. Am I right or wrong, student? Tell me yes or no. Be with me. Keep participating with me. This is very important, student. That you be in the session.
Yes, sir.
These are live classes, webinars. Our purpose is to understand, not to cram the things, so that we will be able to answer all the questions on a given topic. What happens, student, that certain gases they get absorbed, means they get accumulated at the surface, and they do not go inside the bulk of the substance, student. That's what we are saying. So the accumulation of molecular substances, student, or gases at the surface, rather than bulk of a solid or liquid. Bulk of a solid or liquid is called adsorption. So it's a surface phenomena. Larger the surface, the more the adsorption. Be aware of that, student. And some of the examples of adsorption we have already shown you. If you put activated charcoal in a blue dye, student, the color becomes colorless, because charcoal absorbs the colored dye particles, student, on its surface.
Yes, sir, it does.
Aqua solution of sugar, which is yellow in color, student, when it is passed through animal charcoal, it becomes colorless. Why it becomes colorless? The sugar solution. Sugar solution is yellow in color. That means there are impurities. When you pass it through animal charcoal, what happens? It becomes colorless. What the charcoal does? It absorbs the impurities on its surface. You have seen silica gel. These pouches can be found, student, in many of the boxes which you buy. Silica gel pouches. Have you seen many things you buy? There is a pouch in that. What is that pouch, student? Either it is a silica gel pouch or some carbon, what we say, graphite type black material. New suitcase, new attaches, or even some materials which you buy, food items, you will get pouches of this. What is these? What are these pouches, student? Can you tell me what are they doing? What is the role of this? It is a good adsorbent. It will absorb, what it absorb? Moisture, water. So they can absorb, student, what the air becomes dry. The air has got moisture, student. So the water vapors can be absorbed, student, and you will get a dry air. So there is an adsorption, student. There is a desorption, the reverse of adsorption, and there is an absorption, student. When the particles go in the bulk of the material, solid or liquids. That is what we call as absorption, student. Absorption. Can you give an example of absorption, student?
Of sir, absorption.
Absorption. Example of absorption. You have water vapors.
Yes, sir.
You have silica gel. It adsorbs. You have calcium chloride and hydrous, student. What it does, it absorbs and it adsorbs, students. So you have seen what happens, students, on this. If you have a chalk, if you dip a chalk, student, in a dye or ink, blue ink, what happens? The surface becomes blue. If you break it, the chalk from inside it is white. So the solute particles, the dye particles were absorbed. But from inside it is wet, water is gone inside also. So there are two things which can happen also. When both adsorption and absorption takes place simultaneously, what is that known as, student? Question. Adsorption and absorption both happens. What we call this as? What do we call this as? Absorption. These are the terms, students, which can be asked to you in the exams. That is why we are discussing. When we discuss, students, there are two types of adsorption. Physical adsorption and chemical adsorption, student. Chemisorption and physisorption. What is the difference between the two, students? What happens? They will ask you give the differences between physisorption and chemisorption. What type of forces are involved in physisorption, students? What type of forces are involved in physisorption? You have 1 minute. What type of forces are there? When I teach, you can keep the NCERT books with you and revision should be there. Revision question answer session, we will be continuing. So that
Yes, sir. Sir, it's caused due to intermolecular forces.
Van der Waals forces.
Yes, Van der Waals forces. Yes, sir. Between two
Van der
molecules.
Waals forces. These are the answers which we can write in the paper because this is important. Van der Waals forces, student. And in chemisorption, what happens, student? Chemical bond is formed. There is a chemical bond formation, student. So this is not specific. This will be specific, student. Which of the two will be reversible, student? Physisorption is reversible or chemisorption is reversible? Question has been asked in the paper. Reversible mean which can be reversed, student. This is reversible because no bond formation is there, student. But once a bond is formed, if you break it, then it is irreversible. And you know heat is evolved, student, when gases will be absorbed. And which has a lower adsorption enthalpy of adsorption, lower in which case? What we call as delta adsorption enthalpy. In which case it is lower, student? Resorption or chemisorption? Enthalpy of adsorption. Enthalpy of adsorption I'm talking about. Question has been put up in the paper many times about the enthalpy of adsorption, student. This has a lower value. How much is that? 20 to 40 kilojoules per mole, students. And this has a higher because a bond is formed. That will require higher to 40 kilojoules per mole, student. More heat is evolved, student. And temperature effect has been asked so many times. What happens in physisorption will be favored by low temperature or high temperature. If I increase the temperature, physisorption will increase or decrease, students? Question has been put up. With increase in temperature, student, what will happen? It will increase or decrease? If I increase the temperature, the physisorption will increase or decrease, students? This will decrease because the forces are weak. Van der Waals type of forces, there will be decrease in the physisorption, student. In chemis option, what will happen, student? First, it requires some activation energy. So first it increases, reaches a value, then it falls, student. At high temperature, then bonds start breaking. So then what will happen? Though first it needs temperature, but beyond a particular temperature, it will start decreasing. What is the story of activation energy, students? Do you need activation energy? When molecules are only sitting on the surface of another with weak van der Waals forces, not much of activation energy is involved, student. But when bond will be formed, then you will need activation energy. This is an important point. Energy will be required for the formation of the bond. But when physics option is there, no bond formation there, the activation energy is very small. And students, there are certain points which are similar. They asked a question, what are the similarities, differences, and what are the similarities between physics option and chemis option? Can you give something which is similar in the two, students? Enthalpy of adsorption is always negative in both the cases, student, whether it is physics option or chemis option. And this negative enthalpy of adsorption always, though it is less in physics option, more in chemis option, negative. Here also, negative delta adsorption enthalpy. Heat is always evolved, student, whenever adsorption will take place.
Yes, sir.
And surface area increases, both physics option and chemis option. Important point.
Yes, sir.
Similar, both have similarity, that increase in surface area. If I increase the surface area, student, what will happen? This will increase, physics option will increase, chemis option will also increase with increase in surface area.
Yes, sir.
Here you will get unimolecular, here you will get multimolecular. Then we studied adsorption isotherm, student. The adsorption of gases, okay, on a solid adsorbent, student, was studied by Friedrich, and what he said, the mass of the gas adsorbed to the mass of the adsorbent, x by m, is given by k p power 1 by n, student, where n is greater than 1, Friedrich adsorption isotherm. So if you plot x by m versus m, you know what type of curve you are getting. These are called the Friedrich isotherm, students. And sometimes a question has been asked on what is this, and their graph nature is important for our exam, student.
Yes, sir.
Certain applications are there for adsorption. They may ask you in the paper. What do we use adsorption for? You have seen certain gas masks are being used by those who work under the mine, student. Coal mines, you have seen people, gas masks, what they do, they absorb poisonous gases. They have activated charcoal. Coloring matters can be removed, student, then heterogeneous catalyst. And in the curing of many diseases, student, number of drugs are used to kill germs by getting adsorbed on them, by getting absorbed. High vacuums can be created, student. Then chromatographic analysis is there for the separation of these substances. All this information is important. The catalyst is also there in this chapter. More questions are going to be coming from colloids, student. What are colloids, students? You have studied colloids. What are colloids? A simple question is asked to you. What are colloids, students? We use a heterogeneous system which has a dispersed phase and a dispersion medium, student. We always say that. In this, you have a dispersed phase, students, and dispersion medium. In a solution, you have a solute and a solvent, student. In colloids, you have a dispersed phase and dispersion medium. And the classification of colloids is a favorite question, student. And you know the size of the particle in colloids is 1 to 1000 nanometer, student. 1 to 1000 nanometer is the size of the colloidal particle, students. You are aware of that.
Yes, sir.
Questions will be mainly asked on the types of the colloids. Because our purpose is to revise, student, types of the colloids.
Yes, sir.
Let us see types of the colloids, student. What type of colloids are formed, you student? What type of colloids you have seen? What is a sol, student? Sol. What is a sol, student? You have 1 minute to answer the question. Solid
In liquid, sir.
dispersed phase is solid and dispersion medium is liquid. The questions will be like this. You have to identify the dispersed phase and dispersion.
Yes, sir.
Can you give an example of a sol, student? They will ask you in the paper.
Of salt, sir.
Ah,
Um. Sir. Sir. Paint.
very good. This is a revision of the course, student. Be careful. Pay attention. Pay attention. Stay focused. You learn each and every word, student. You can get 100 out of 100 marks. So you
Yes,
must
sir.
learn. Our purpose is to learn, student, so that we know what is an aerosol, student. Aerosol. Oh my God. Certain terms explain to them. What is air? Air is a gas, student. Air is a gas. Aerosol, student. Aerosol. Solid in gas, student. Gas is air, na air. Aerosol. Solid in gas. Solid in gas. Any example of solid in gas, student?
Of sir. Of solid gas.
Yes. Aerosol. Aerosol.
Aerosol. Sir. It is 2 minutes of gas. So smoke.
Yes. They asked in the paper that what is smoke? What type of colloidal system is smoke?
Aerosol.
So you will say it is an aerosol. The solid carbon particles are dispersed in air. Air is a gas.
Yes, sir.
So aerosol. Solid in air, student. Smoke. What solid is that? That carbon, black, and other dust. What is a gel, student? He will ask what is a gel. Jelly. You are eating jellies, student. What are jellies? Jellies. You are eating jellies, student. You are eating cheese, students. You are eating butter, students. What is in them, student? Dispersion medium. What is dispersion medium? Is solid here, student, and you have liquid as dispersed phase. Liquid in solid, student, liquid in solid. Butter and all that. Then he will ask you, student, what are emulsions, student? One question is always asked on this type of the colloids. Colloids are very important topic, student. Their properties are important and their preparation is important. So much their importance is there on classification, student. Lyophobic colloids, lyophilic colloid. You have seen all those examples will be there. Emulsions means liquid, solid, and liquid solution. Liquid is solid and liquid. Dispersed phase is liquid, dispersion medium is liquid. You are drinking that every day. What emulsion you are drinking? You drink every day, student, milk. Liquid fat and liquid water. Liquid fat is there in the water. Liquid. Dispersed phase is liquid, dispersion medium is always liquid. everything on dispersed phase and dispersion medium, students. What are solid salts, student? Solid salt, gas in solid, gas in solid, gas in solid. That foam rubber. What is a foam, students? You have seen froth formation, soap leather formation.
Mm.
Gas in a liquid. This first phase is gas and liquid. I mean, just this is a type of classification. There could be question for the student. What is the difference between lyophobic salts, lyophilic salts? What are the various type of colloids, students? And how to prepare the colloids? We have seen the preparation of the colloids, properties of the colloids, students. Can you give some properties of the colloids which are important? How you say that this is a colloid, student? There are certain properties of the colloids, purification of the colloids are important questions. Can you give few properties of the colloids? Few properties. So here we are just trying to tell you that what is going to be in this chapter. Student, color, Brownian movement, charge on the colloidal part.
Yes, sir.
Electrophoresis. And peptidization, coagulation, emulsions, oil in liquid, liquid in oil type of emulsion. All these and some of the applications of colloids are very, very important where it is used. Student, the topic of surface chemistry, mainly a lot of questions are there on colloids.
Yes, sir.
The point to be noted that we have to read very, very important, very, very important here. I'm giving you complete information, student. What will be there? This is the most important part of the surface chemistry. Maximum questions are asked, student, in all the competition exams also.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Therefore, student, we are aware of what we are going to be tested today on, what questions are going to be there. We already got an idea, and let us begin with important question. Colloid, student, important question, students, which can be asked in the coming exams. Surface chemistry. First question on the screen. Define the term Tyndall effect. Tell me, student, what is a Tyndall effect? Important, very important question is there, student. This question is going to be there. Tyndall effect, student. What is a Tyndall effect? What happens when a beam of light is passed through colloidal solution, student? The path of beam is illuminated, student. The path of beam is illuminated. What you see, bright cone of light, which is called Tyndall cone. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What definition you are giving? When a beam of light is passed through colloidal solution, what happens? When a beam of light is passed through a colloidal solution, students, what happens, students? The path of beam is illuminated. The path of beam is illuminated, students. The path of beam is illuminated.
Yes, sir.
And what you observed is bright cone of light called Tyndall cone. So bright cone of light is called the Tyndall cone. Student, what it is called? Tyndall cone is observed, student. This, what is the reason for this? Why do we observe these students? This is due to scattering of light. Due to scattering of light, student, by the colloidal particles. Am I right? The blue color of the sky is also due to scattering of the light by the particles which are present. What are the conditions, student? If a question is given, what are the conditions to observe student Tyndall effect? This question has also been given in the CBSE. What is your answer? You have 1 to 2 minutes to give the answer, student. We are studying, we are revising, we are giving different type of questions and how the questions are changed, student, and how the questions are framed in the exam. What are the conditions, student, which must be fulfilled to observe Tyndall effect? There's a condition for everything. Nothing is happening by itself, student. There is a condition. Everything, every phenomenon which is observed, there must be some condition which must be satisfied to observe. What is that condition, student? Search it out and let me know. There are two conditions, student, which should be satisfied. There is a wavelength of the light, student, which is falling. Wavelength of light. And the diameter of the dispersed particles. Diameter of dispersed particles, student. They should be almost equal. So the diameter of the dispersed particle should not be smaller than, should not be much smaller than the wavelength of the light used. The diameter, the wavelength of light and diameter dispersed should be quite similar, student. There should not be very large difference in the two. This is number 1 point. And second, student, the refractive indices of dispersed phase and dispersion medium. Refractive index in light in physics, you have studied about the refractive index, student. The refractive index of dispersed phase and dispersion medium. There are two things. Dispersed phase and dispersion medium, student. They must differ. They should differ, student, greatly in magnitude. Okay. Noted?
Okay, sir.
These are important questions, students. We are revising and they could be asked in the paper, student. Paper. There will be such questions in the paper, student. They will ask you, student. Another important thing, student. What is a coagulation process, students? What is coagulation? Colloidal particle size you have seen 1 to 1000 nanometers, students. If they come together and form aggregates, student, bigger particles, what will happen? What do you call that as? This is also called precipitation. Have you seen precipitation, student? Precipitate appearing in the test tube. You can see bigger particles, student. What is that? The process of settling of colloidal particles is called coagulation, student, or precipitation of the sol. This is precipitation of the sol, student. The small particles, they aggregate, student, and form bigger particles. So what happens, student? Then you can see the colloidal particles are converted into bigger particle, student, coagulation takes place. Can you tell me, student, how this coagulation will happen? How the coagulation takes place, student? How can we coagulate or precipitate, student, the colloidal particles? Can you name certain methods, student, certain processes by which coagulation of colloidal particles means they will student coagulate, they will form aggregates. They will form aggregates, student, small particles. They will form aggregates. And the result of that will be, student, they will settle down under the force of gravity. That's what we mean by that, student. Those are small particles, very, very small. And now they are combining from bigger particle, and then they will settle down. They'll just settle down, student. Settle down as bigger particles, what we call as a precipitate. So these smaller particles are combining, student. See, why would they aggregate, student? Why will they form such precipitate? Can you tell me one or two reasons, students? You know, there's a charge on the colloidal particles. Am I right? The colloidal particles are charged. Am I right, student? Tell me yes or no. They are charged particles.
Yes, sir.
If I remove this charge, what will happen? Then they will come together. So if I add one soil of a positively charged soil, what will happen? They will coagulate. Or if you do boiling, what will happen? They can coagulate. If you do persistent dialysis, these are some of the ways we can do it. Or you may add electrolytes, student. Electrolytes have a positively charged ions. They will neutralize the charge of the colloidal particles, and as the charges will be removed, student, they will coagulate. They will coagulate. Am I right? Important, student. See how many questions can we put from just one thing? Any doubt? These are the questions they have already been asked in different papers. We are revising them. What is an emulsion, student? What is an emulsion? We have just defined, student. What is an emulsion, student? What is an emulsion? You have a dispersed phase, you have a dispersion medium, student. What do you mean by student emulsion? What is your answer, student? Liquid.
Yes, sir.
What do you call emulsions as? Dispersed phase, liquid, and dispersion medium also liquid. When liquid is dispersed in a medium of dispersion, medium is also liquid. Example you have given me. Milk is very good example, has been asked in paper many times. Milk is an emulsion, student. Soluble fat is there, liquid fat is there. Liquid fat. What is electrophoresis, students? What is electrophoresis? What do we do in electrophoresis, students? A lot of questions are coming in the paper on colloids. I told you they are very.
Yes, sir.
What is electrophoresis? Tell me fast, 1 minute. By the time you are also making the same notes what we are teaching you, and you will get video recording of these. You can listen to them anytime, anywhere, so that you know what type of questions are coming, how to answer. The same question could be put in MCQ form also. MCQ form with 4 choices. So be careful.
Yes, sir.
We must understand what is the meaning of electrophoresis, student. What happens? Colloidal particles are charged. If I apply an electric potential, what will happen? You have two platinum electrodes and you attach a battery, apply a potential difference. What will happen? What will happen? The movement of the colloidal particles will take place. The movement of colloidal particles, students. Movement of colloidal particles. ठीक है? Under when an electric potential is applied. Is called electrophoresis. This is what is the reason for this, student? This is evidence also. This is evidence because in the assertion and reasoning type of question, this will become important. This is also an evidence, student, that colloidal particles are charged particles. Particles are charged particles, students. Charged particles. They are charged particles. Because they are charged particles, student, therefore, this is an important evidence. The charged particles will move, positive will move towards the negative plate, negative will move towards the positive plate. Positive,
Yes, sir.
if they are positively charged, they'll move towards the cathode, negatively charged, they will move to the anode and get discharged there. They'll get coagulated. They are students, important point, important. Everything question can be put in many ways. Are you clear? Or if there is any doubt, you can stop. These are live interaction. These are webinars. Student, you are participating.
Clear, sir. Clear, sir.
Essential, and our purpose is that you learn everything. Word by word, we will decode your books and we will explain each and every table, each and every graph, student, which is given in the book. Each and every question will be answered in a way that you will understand. No mugging, no rattabaji. Exam, no rattabaji is possible. Okay, note it down on the notes, student. You are making
Yes,
your
sir.
notes. You have how many? All the of these registers will be filled by the time we are teaching. And you don't have to read books before you go for exams. All this is more than enough. There will be so many questions answered. Now, students, we told you there are certain, and the classification of the colloids has also been done, whether the colloids are lyophilic or lyophobic, two types of classification. This is all based on classification of the colloid, students, classification of colloids, students. I discussed in my lectures, which are uploaded in YouTube. What are lyophobic and lyophilic colloids? You have two types. Lyophilic, students, and lyophobic colloids. Lyophobic colloids. Lyophilic colloids and lyophobic. What is the difference between the two? Fast, you have 1 minute to answer that question. Lyophil, phil means love. Love to what, student? Everything is based on what the colloids are based on. You told me, sir, there is a dispersed phase and dispersion medium, right?
Right, sir.
Do they love each other or do they hate each other, student? Phobe means they don't like
Hate,
each
sir.
other. Love, feel means they like each other.
Yes, sir.
So what is then lyophilic colloids? Can you tell me and give me examples of lyophobic? What is our definition? Lyophobic, liquid hating. But they are liquid hating, student. The dispersed particles do not like the dispersion medium, in other words. So what are the examples of each one of them? Because the question could be lyophobic or lyophilic in the paper. Example, student of lyophobic. You have 1 minute to answer the question. The questions are coming like this. What are the examples of lyophobic? You prepared gold salt, student.
Yes,
You
sir.
prepare the metal sulfide, student. Metal sulfide salts you prepare, student. So what were those, student? They were liquid hitting like metals. Gold salts you prepare. What method you use to prepare gold salt, student? Brady arc method and metal sulfides. These were examples of lyophobic colloids, student. And where are the lyophilic colloids examples? Those which can be easily prepared. They need special methods to be prepared because they are not liking the dispersion medium. They are not very stable, student. And they are protected, student, by addition of protective colloids. You know about it. Lyophilic colloids are added to stabilize them. They are not very stable, and you know they are irreversible, student. Salts irreversible. Some of the properties of they are irreversible salts. Note down each and every point. Very important. And lyophilic, very simple. Gum, gelatin, starch, gond. What you are doing? But you are sticking with that so many things. Gum, gelatin, starch, student, starch solution. Gelatin, they dissolve very readily in water, student, and these are reversible salts. You can heat the water, will evaporate, then you can remix dispersion medium and dispersed phase and again form these salts. Is it clear, student? Is it clear what we have told you? Am I right?
Right, sir.
Okay, then next question is, student, what is peptidization of the salt? What is peptidization of the salt, students? Peptidization, students. We told you about coagulation, student. That is the same thing as peptidization. The colloidal particles, they form aggregates and they will settle down. They will aggregate, student, and then settle down, student, under gravity force. The same as coagulation we told you, and you have seen the reasons why they do it. When the charges are, student, neutralized, they will do it by addition of electrolytes or by boiling or persistent dialysis. All these methods are being discussed, student. You can shake the dispersion medium with small amount of electrolyte. Electrolytes have a positively charged ion. You have heard about Ardishol's rule. Questions will be asked on that also, student. By addition of electrolytes, addition of electrolytes, students, to colloids, what happens? They can precipitate, peptidization takes place, student. Peptidization. What we are saying, student? No, this is peptidization, not precipitation. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, this is coagulation is student precipitation. I thought it is precipitation. This, make a correction, student. Coagulation is precipitation. This is peptidization, is opposite of that. So what we said was wrong. That I thought it is precipitation. It is not precipitation. It is peptidization, student. Sorry for that. Make a correction, student. Peptidization is not Precipitation. What do you mean by baptization, student? Baptization is the reverse of that. Reverse of coagulation or precipitation. Okay? Reverse of that. What do we do in this, student? That we precipitates are converted into students colloidal particles. Colloidal particles. That is called baptization. Students, that is a reverse of this. Reverse of this. So be careful because sometimes we can do a mistake, student, that this is not the precipitation, this is baptization. Okay, what is baptization then, student? Converting a precipitate into colloidal solid.
Yes, sir.
Converting a precipitate into colloidal sol, students. You have seen when you freshly prepared precipitate, student, it is a solid. So for this, what you have to do, student? What do? You shake the dispersion medium in the presence of small amount of electrolyte. Small amount of electrolyte is used, student. What will it do, student? That is called peptizing agent. Peptizing agent is added and the precipitate is shaken, students.
Yes, sir.
So the result is the precipitate particles will absorb certain ions on their surface. Will absorb ions, student. So from the electrolyte, the precipitate, they will absorb same ion, student, of same charge. When they will absorb the ion of the same charge, preferentially, what will happen? Then these particles will repel each other and they will break into smaller particles of colloidal size. They will break into smaller particles of the colloidal size. Got my point, student? So make a correction what we said. There is a difference between precipitation and baptization. Baptization is the opposite of precipitation. Precipitate freshly prepared, you added some electrolyte, these particles absorb one of the two positive or negative ions on their surface. And when they will absorb an ion, same charge, what will happen? They will break into smaller particles. And the size of those particles will be the size of the colloidal particle. This is called baptization, student. Important question because now we should be careful. As I said that every word has a meaning. Pay attention. We could be tricked because we have in our mind certain terms again and again. We think that. So baptization is different.
Yes, sir.
Opposite of precipitation. So we can convert precipitate into the colloidal particles or colloidal particles into precipitate also. Reverse, both are possible. Both are possible, students. Next question is coming on the screen, student. Out of ammonia and carbon dioxide, student, which gas will be absorbed more readily on the surface of activated charcoal and why? You know, activated charcoal is a very good adsorbent, student. Charcoal is a good adsorbent. It will absorb, student, particles on its surface, that is called adsorbent. And the particles which are adsorbed, they are called adsorbate and adsorbent. Now there are different gases. Some gases are absorbed more, other gases are absorbed less. On which factor it will depend, student? On which factor it will depend? You see that there is an interaction between the charcoal and the gas adsorb. The stronger the attractive force between the gas particles and the adsorbent, more readily it will be absorbed. Stronger the interaction, stronger the attractive interactions. What we are saying, stronger the attractive interactions, students, between the molecules of adsorbent and adsorbate. Stronger the interaction, attractive interaction between the adsorbent and adsorbent, the more readily it will be absorbed. Am I right?
Right, sir.
So then on what basis we will answer this question? You have ammonia and NH3, CO2 students. One you have NH3 student. CO2, this is your CO2. The dipole moment is 0. This is 0, you know, equal and opposite dipole cancel. This has a dipole, definite dipole student, you know about it. This molecule is polar student, that is not. See, what will happen, student? You have read something about critical temperature, student. What is a critical temperature of a gas, student? TC. What do you know about critical temperature? When we talked of liquefaction of the gases. See, everything is related and we have to understand each and everything to answer any question. These are all interrelated with each other.
Yes, sir.
What is critical temperature? When a gas is liquefied, how do you liquefy a gas, student? If I have air, student, I want to get oxygen from it. What I have to do? First, I have to liquefy, and then I have to do fractional distillation to separate oxygen, nitrogen. Presently, you know, you are facing oxygen crisis, and oxygen is present in the atmosphere, 18%, whatever it is. Can we get oxygen from air? Then what method we have to use? You will say liquefy, liquid. You know that transportation of oxygen is done not by gas, by liquid. Liquid oxygen is coming. Why? Volume of gas will occupy very large volume, student. How will you transport it? So they convert it into liquid and can only they can be transported, student. The gases can be compressed, student. That is a property which is important. How you are transporting the O2 from one point to another, from other countries to India, student. You have seen Navy being used. You see in the news, seen those cylinders, student, they are liquid oxygen.
Yes, sir.
Because gases can be compressed, student, and liquid then can be transported. Otherwise, gas will occupy a very large volume. By volume, we can't do that. We don't have that many containers, student, not possible. Transportation not possible. This is important point. Here, student, critical temperature, that temperature, only below that temperature, gas will liquefy. The one which has a higher critical temperature has stronger interactive forces between that. So you will see that out of the two students, the critical temperature of ammonia is high. The critical temperature of NH3 is more than CO2, students. So this gas is liquefied student first and that later. So higher the critical temperature, more readily it can be liquefied. And therefore, student, out of these two, ammonia gas will be absorbed more readily because the critical temperature of ammonia is higher. So NH3, important question for the paper, is more readily absorbed. More, got the answer?
Yes, sir.
Because it has higher. Why? Why? Because it has higher critical temperature.
Temperature, yes, sir.
Then interactive force will be stronger in this case, student. As compared to CO2, it is zero dipole moment, equal and opposite dipole cancel in the case of CO2.
Yes, sir.
All right, this ends up the important questions and we will continue more about this and it's a good revision for us. So once you are staying with me, you will learn a lot of chemistry as well as you will see how many questions can be answered in the paper. and we will try to learn each and everything. And we are likely to solve large number of different questions, students, in a way to understand everything. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Good night. We'll meet you in the next class.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.